Well, hello and good morning. This is hashtag Think Positive Thursday. I'm a couple of minutes late getting on here because we had technical problems. I'm telling you, I love technology, but when it goes sour, it goes sour. That's all I can say. So apologize for being late, but I hope that you will enjoy this morning's session. Just a few minutes. I'm on the Bound to Excel page on Facebook. I'm on my personal page, Michael Lane, on Facebook, and also on YouTube. So all three are covered. And I wanted to bring you some information today. You know, one of the important things that we're going through now with this pandemic, a lot of people are having to work from home. You may be in the same situation. I know that our county has gone to that red formulation, and now not everything shut down. The governor has now called for a complete shutdown like he did a few months ago, but we're certainly facing some restrictions, and we need to think about that. It isn't that we're just bowing a knee to Caesar here, okay? It's a matter of being good citizens and doing what's right for our own health's sake, because we all have a stake in this thing, okay? And so I just wanted to share some things with you today that I think will help you in working through this pandemic thing from home, because it is a big deal. And you know, we struggle with life today as it is. We're not doing things as we usually do. Yeah, you know, it's a very difficult time. I know that our mortality rate in Indiana has just gone out the roof, so to speak, and there are several people dying from this stuff. I know there's that whole thing out there about, well, you know, if people die, they just blame it on COVID-19. Everybody dies from it now. Well, I don't think that's exactly right. Um, you know, sometimes it's difficult to know exactly what's going on, and we get that. But you know, I want you to be aware of the fact that we live in a very precarious time, and it isn't the Cold War between us and Russia, or the USSR back in the day. This is a hot war between us and a virus, and we have to think about that. So if you tuned in this morning, go ahead and say hi to me over here. That'll be fine. And if you want to chat, that's okay too. So I do want to remind you that you can go to our website, bound2excel.com. You see it on the banner right here. There we go. And then on the Facebook page, Bound to Excel on Facebook, and we'll keep you updated. I'm going to be posting a video as soon as I get finished here this morning on our Bound to Excel page. I may go ahead and do it on my personal page as well, because it's good stuff about exercising during this pandemic and the benefits of doing so. And I know exercise, that's why'd you have to mention that, Lane? I mean, yeah, I get it. But you know, science, medical science, has proven that exercise is good for us. You know, you exercise and you get hot, right? You maybe even start sweating, and you know, it works well from the standpoint of like a fever. You know, we get a fever and it tends to burn some things out. Well, exercise elevates our temperature, and that's an important thing to think about. So, anyway, that being said, I do want to remind you that today is a day that we're going to talk about some tips from working at home, because I know it's a struggle. You know, it's just everything has been so different, and you're working from home, and for crying out loud, you can. If you're like me, there are those days that you just don't get dressed up at all, right? You're into your lounge clothes. And you know, that's something that I have learned, is that on days that I truly want to get into the mindset of doing the work that I'm going to have to do that day, it always helps me to go ahead and dress for the occasion as though I were getting dressed to go to work. Now, I think that's an important tip, and we may talk about that here in just a little bit. But working from home sounds like a dream to many people. That a dream come true. I can work from home. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you can't. Oh, you can't beat the commute, right? I mean, commutes. There's something else. Well, once people start working from home, this illusion begins to fade. They find it hard to stay productive and miss the social interaction with their colleagues. It happens. If you struggle to work from home, then follow these things that I've set out for you. And by the way, this paper is available to you. If you want it, just send me a message and I'll get it back to you. Okay, I can send it through Messenger, through email, whatever. And I think you will really enjoy this, and I hope you will. So number one, create a dedicated workspace. Did you hear that? A dedicated workspace. Now, I have it pretty good here because a few years ago I bought one of those portable buildings. It's about 12 feet wide and 33 feet long, and you see them displayed around Indiana. Has a nice little front porch, and so I came inside and we finished out the inside, and that's where you're at this morning with me. And it's just really a cool place. Insulated it. We got heat and air out here. That's so nice. So that is my dedicated workspace. I come out here and I do my writing. I do my sermon preparation. I do my coursework to help you. And so it's not unlike being a teacher. You know how a teacher, and if you're a teacher, you understand this, that you develop your plan, your lesson plan, and that's what I do. So created a dedicated workspace that it makes it so nice. It's convenient. It's close to home, just a few steps out my back door, and I go in, check on the doggies. Once in a while, one of the dogs will come out here and spend some time with me, and they love that, and so it's fun. It's a cool thing to do. So find a dedicated place in your house where you can get away from the distractions. I've got a TV up here and I can turn it on and have a little whatever going on in the background, but that can be a distraction, especially if my favorite show were to come on. So I don't turn it on until I just want to. Otherwise, I may have some good music playing in the background that can be streaming. I'll have it faithpointsradio.com, faithpointsradio.com. And you can click on that play button and get some good inspirational music there. So something to think about because I think that would help you much. Okay, number two, set some healthy boundaries with your loved ones. If you're not a single person, you've got a spouse, you have the children, and our schools. We're not having school in this county. So parents who are working from home have the double challenge of their children being there. So consequently, you should make sure that your friends and family know when you are working. Set some hours for that. Say, from 9 to noon, I am going to be working, whatever that time frame is, and let them know, point blank. People really don't get upset by that. You set some boundaries, and most people will understand that. And also inform them that you shouldn't be disturbed while you're working from home during your work hours. An emergency is one thing, but just call and chat, well, that's another. Number three, embrace your productive hours. Did you hear that? Embrace your productive hours. You will quickly figure out when you get your best work done. It's different times for different ones. Once you do, double down on those times. It's very important. If you are a morning person, consider getting up a bit earlier. If you get your best work done late at night, well, adjust your routine accordingly. It's very important. Okay, number 4, adopt a work first mindset. I know. First off, this doesn't mean that you put your work above everything else. What it does mean is that when you plan your day, you plan it around work. You have some errands to do, right? Okay, well, fine. Just make sure that you get a couple of pressing work tasks done first. Set some priorities. Priorities can be difficult. But, here's the thing, you're working from home. Chances are you have an employer, and that employer is paying you to work from home. That means a dedicated time, dedicated work, and very important. Number 5, learn how to disconnect. Whoa. Had to bring that up, didn't you? Yep, sure did. Learn how to disconnect. Working from home often blurs the lines between work and rest. You need to be able to disconnect when your workday is over, or you will, never feel rested. There is nothing wrong with working long hours, but when you do feel the need to get away from it all, you will need to learn new ways to do that because the body needs regeneration. And in this day of this coronavirus, your body really needs to have its rest and to be able to maintain what the body needs to maintain in order to be able to stay healthy. Whoa, staying healthy. Yeah, it's a tough gig, but you can do it. Number 6, find a routine that works for you. The routine you have when you were going to work at an office building or the store or whatever it may have been, you drive there, and so you had a routine whenever you walk into the office or into the building. There was a certain routine that you went through. Well, the same here while you're at home. Routines is a great way to stay productive and get things done almost mindlessly. Without thinking about it, you just do it. Creating and fastening those routines, fostering those routines while you're at work from home is a great way to stay on track. Create a morning routine for when you first get up. Create a routine for when you are done with your working hours. Any actions you repeat regularly can quickly become a part of a routine, and routines can be very good. Have to have healthy routines. This is what's important. All right, number 7, find ways to stay social. Oh, but that does present a problem. We're talking about social distancing, at least 6 feet between us, wearing the mask, and yet we're staying home and we're working from home. We're in what I call the red zone in our county, and in many parts of Indiana, we have a lot of red going on, and the infection rate has increased as well as the death rate. So, how do we stay social during those times? Well, even the most introverted of us need a bit of social interaction. Working from home can feel lonely at times, right? So ensure you take steps to stay connected with your social circle. You can schedule more in person meetings, but don't forget about technology. Apps like Skype or Zoom make staying connected easier than ever before. And that's important. So, what do you do about, because we have some people in my church that do not do internet. They're older folks. And so I make sure to call them. I give them a call. I stay in touch. This is very, very important. And of course, those of us on Facebook, we're all the time touching base. That's kind of cool. All right, so do that. Remain social. Keep your social circle going, because that's very important. Number 8, make sure to stay active. When you work from home, you lose out on a lot of your day-to-day activity. It might not seem like a big difference, but it adds up over the long run. You may need to increase your exercise load or begin exercising if you haven't been. And I know we finally got into some fall weather here, so it's a little difficult to go out and be laying on the ground and doing those different kinds of exercises, even together at a social distance. But at the same time, there are ways that you can do that individually. And our video that you'll see in a little bit on Bound to Excel will help you have some pointers to do that. So I think you'll like it. Number 9, don't forget about personal grooming. Here's the thing that I say about we humans. We need to look good, need to feel good, and we need to smell good. Got it? Look good, feel good, and smell good. You bet. And that really does make a big difference. It's easy to slip into a routine where you wake up, pour the coffee, and shuffle over to your computer for the day. That's it. Well, some people will tell you to prepare for working from home like you were going in. That's what I talked about earlier. And that's not bad advice, but it might be overkill. You should, however, ensure your clothes and body is clean, at least. It's good for your health and your spirit. And it will make a big difference in your life, I guarantee you. So I think that's a very important. Okay, three actionable steps I want you to be aware of today. Number 1, designate a workplace in your home. Make do with what you have. The goal here isn't to create a lavish private office, just an area conducive to being a productive area. Number 2, let friends and family know your working hours. This way, you can help to avoid distractions before they even become a problem. That's important. And finally, after the first week of working from home, take a minute to list the things that are working or not. Embrace the things that work and try to avoid the ones that don't. Okay, you got that? Well, I hope you do. And listen, I really hope that these suggestions have been very helpful to you today. And I hope that you will take them to heart, because, it's a very important time that we live in. We all are working from home, it seems. Now, there's many of us that can't do that. We look at our first responders, our police, fire, EMS workers, the physicians, the nurses, the hospital staffs. They can't do that work from home. They are right in the thick middle of where this pandemic stuff is. And so whenever you're doing your work, and don't think about them, I think that's a very important thing to do. And you might let them know that you appreciate them, okay? But anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed this today. And I think that these are some things that will definitely help you get through this pandemic. And remember, when you go out, follow the directives of your local health department. This is important, folks. Be sure to wear the mask. You say, what good does that mask do? I can still spit through it. Well, I was in a store the other day. I had my mask on. I had to sneeze. And the one thing I know is that mask held back the aerosol. Sure, it probably got out there, but it didn't have the same length of aerosol that I would have had if I not had the mask on. So please just be compliant. That's all it's asked of you. Just be compliant. In your stubbornness, understand there are health risks. Maybe you're okay. Maybe you're just fine. But remember, there are other people that you will come in contact with. That's what you need to be able to take care of. And so, that being said, I thank you so much for being here today. Abel, good to see you. Thank you, sir. And you're very welcome. Thank you. And listen, if there's anything I can ever do for you here at the Center for Redirection, Dr. Michael Lane Center for Redirection, we started out counseling many years ago as a pastoral counselor. We helped a lot of people, and that's our goal today. It's part of what I do. It's part of what we offer to you as citizens of this world, is to be able to become better at what you do, become better at life, and understand that your life can be redirected if you're struggling in the way life is. So I thank you so much. Listen, stay healthy, okay? Stay healthy. Watch what you're doing, where you're going. Remember to social distance, wear the mask, do everything you can, wash the hands. Hey, we've learned quite well how to wash hands, haven't we? Wow, I've gotten good at this. So listen, you take care of yourself. God bless. And remember, you are born to win.